It's been, well, quite a miserable day out there, rather rainy, and we'll have the weather coming up in a few minutes with Tina. However, this is the first day of fall, and that means it may be time to pay attention to your HVAC system as the season changes. So let's talk air conditioning, not about using it, but rather about not using it and prepping it for the winter. To do that, I chatted with Dean Dick. He is the category manager of HVAC at Wolesley Canada, and I started the conversation by asking Dean, what if we did nothing more than turn off the air conditioner? That's it. Is it still going to be okay?
First of all, let me say that doing nothing is not the end of the world. Your air conditioner isn't going to just break, because you didn't prepare it for the winter. But I think taking a few simple steps before winter can kind of help extend the life of the equipment. Think of it kind of like your patio furniture. You can just leave it out there in the winter and hope for the best next spring, next summer, or you can do a few things to maybe, protect it, shelter it, cover it, to make it last a little bit longer.
All right. Now, one of the key things I recall from my childhood is that my grandfather used to bring out this big cover, tie it around, and tell me that you need to cover the air conditioner so snow doesn't get inside. Is that still a thing?
That's a classic one. I still see neighbors of mine, bless their souls, down the road, elderly people that still do that. And but the truth is, modern units, they're not built they are built rather to be weather resistant. Rain and snow doesn't usually hurt them. They're out there all summer in the pouring rain, and you can tell that that's what they're designed to do. So what you really don't want to do is fully seal these units in. You don't want to shrink wrap them. You don't want to, wrap them up like a Christmas present, because really that just traps moisture and causes rust. So covering it can add extra protection, but make sure you use a proper air conditioning cover that's meant for the unit. Those units breathe, so they're designed that way. Or you can just simply put a piece of plywood on top of it with something to weigh it down to protect it. So you don't have to be high tech. The key here is it's all about airflow. You just want to make sure that unit has lots of airflow. Now, I'll just say an important caveat, because many people nowadays have heat pumps rather than just your standard air conditioner. If you do have a heat pump, you want to definitely make sure that you're not covering it, because obviously a heat pump is designed to work all year round. It's going to provide cooling in the summer and heating in the winter. So you don't want to cover it. It will damage your unit if you have a heat pump.
Oh, yeah. We're just talking about standard air conditioners, not the fancy heat pumps. But with that, though, I wanted to get into filters. Now, the AC filter is the same as the furnace filter, and I kind of feel like changing the filter at this time of year is kind of like when the clock changes, you change the batteries in your smoke detector. Is that a good rule of thumb for filters? I mean, twice a year, changing spring and fall?
For sure. You know what? It's a great reminder at the very least to do it 2 times, but that's at a minimum. I would consider, a good standard is every 3 months. However, if you have pets or allergies, or maybe you're doing renovations in the home and there's construction dust, I would say do it even more often than every 3 months.
All right. And other than covers and filters, we've covered them. Any other tips you can provide to keep your air conditioner healthy in the winter?
Well, I would just say, maybe a little bit of cleaning and prep goes a long way. If it is just a standard AC, you can shut off the breaker at the indoor panel or turn off the power at the outdoor disconnect switch. Maybe gently hose off the unit, take away any leaves or grass clippings. And if you're able to, it's always a good idea to have an HVAC professional come out and take a look at it and make sure it's all ready to go next summer when you turn it on.